All right, got you back again for another Chickenside chat. I want to talk about getting help in the Philippines, and I mean involving labor, not mental health. But anytime that I've gotten any type of labor help in the Philippines, it's been a real bargain compared to in the West. So, for example, uh, getting laundry, wash, dry, and fold. You can get that done for $3 a load, and we had that service for a while when we first moved to the Philippines, just because we didn't want to invest in a washing machine, and it's super easy. And you lack in the convenience of being able to just throw a load in the washer, but and you have to deal with the shop whenever it's open. But the fact that you drop it off dirty and get it back clean and folded, that's pretty hard to beat. And for $3. So that's a good example. Another is this property here is maintained by a kuya, which is Tagalog for brother. Uh, we pay a guy about 10 to $15 a day to maintain this. He works 6 days a week. He mows the grass, he trims the trees, he does whatever we need done. He drives the car. He's got a license, so if we need to get dropped off to the airport, he'll drive us to the airport and drop us and then pick us up whenever we come back. He's driving our car, but he's got his license, so that makes it convenient. So if you need a kuya, get one with a license. That makes things a lot more convenient. So he's just a do everything kind of guy, and a real asset to have around. We've had maids before. We don't have one currently, but we have had maids before, and they're awesome too. They work for even less per day, about half as much, depending on what you want done. If you don't need childcare or anything, you just need somebody to clean and maintain the house. That you pay them $10 or less a day, and they'll come and do that, and they'll do just as much cleaning as you want done, and they'll help with the plants outside and water plants and all that kind of stuff. It's great. And one example of kind of changing the Western mindset by coming here is I was in Kuwait, and I rented an apartment there, and it was from a local Kuwaiti that had a big house, and so he had like the bottom floor, and then his assistants, his maids and stuff, they lived in the basement floor, and then he had two additional floors above his that were 3 bedroom, 3 bath apartments. So it was a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was a total of 7 apartments in the building, along with his house and the maids' quarters and stuff. It was a massive house. Anyway, so he makes money off a rental, and I think the government or somebody funds these houses for these Kuwaitis, and it's a real common thing for them to have a massive house and then to rent apartments inside. So my apartment was huge in there, but anyways, when I first moved in, there was no provision for a washing machine or a dryer, and so I asked him. I was like, "Hey man, I want to put a washing machine in here," and he's like, "Why?" It's like, well, I want to wash clothes. He's like, just take them to the laundry. Why do you want to wash clothes? And I had to think about that for a little while, and it's like, he's right. Like, what do I want a washing machine for? The laundry is dirt cheap. Even in Kuwait, it was dirt cheap, and they would do the wash, dry, fold thing just the same. I mean, you hand them a huge garbage bag, and it was like $2. It was nothing. And so for a while I did that, but then I ended up getting a washing machine of my own. I got a used deal on a washing machine, so it's no problem. But yeah, so you just kind of got to get out of that mindset of why am I going to do everything myself when I can get help and it's affordable. Um, they have hardware stores here, and they're starting to get a DIY spirit, do it yourself kind of spirit, but I think that it's mostly our influence that's doing that, because the labor here is so cheap that you're kind of silly if you do it yourself. The nice thing is it frees you up to do what you want to do instead of what you got to do. Like, I'm not a slave to the property here. I don't have to do anything. I just do what I want. So if I don't want to cut the grass, which I don't ever want to cut the grass. But if I don't want to cut the grass, I got my guy to cut the grass. Or if we want to skip town for a month, we don't have to worry about these farm animals here. You know, we don't have a lot of farm animals, but they need maintenance. So our guy just takes care of everything, and we're free to do whatever we want. And it's just a whole different kind of feeling when you have that kind of help. And in my opinion, it's one of the best things about the Philippines. Yeah, there's some things that are cheaper, but there's a lot of things that are more expensive. And if you want to live like a Westerner, you're going to pay as much or more than in America, just because there's just not much infrastructure here for that kind of living. But if you want to live a little rougher than what you're used to, and you want to have help, and you want to do what you want to do instead of take care of your property, then you can do it. You can definitely do it here and in other countries too, not just here, but Costa Rica and other places that are closer to America. You can do the same thing there. You can get help, and the same would go if I get tore up and I need a nurse. You can have a live-in nurse or a 24/7 nurse or on-call nurse or whatever nurse you want. The availability is here. So. Now, I'm not saying come here with major medical problems, but I'm saying if you needed some help, you can get it. You can get help here. It's no problem. So, what was I gonna say? You can get I have my solar system installed by professionals. There's professionals here too. It's not just general help. But if you want a house built and you want to have it built to Western standards with insulation and all that kind of stuff, then you're going to be paying through the nose, because they don't really use insulation here. They just use thermal mass. So they're using cement blocks and no real insulation and no insulation in the ceiling. And they're really just kind of counting on the cooler evenings to cool the house off. And then they'll run air conditioning in just their bedroom or something, and not the living room and stuff like that. And they just use fans. If you don't want to live like that, you're going to be paying more for your house construction or more for your electric bill for running all the mini splits that you need to run to keep it cool. And electricity can be quite pricey here and pretty low quality, depending on how far out from the cities you go. For me, I was getting low voltage, so I just went ahead and put the whole solar system up, and I got enough battery to take me off grid, so I don't have to deal with that. So that was a bit of an expense, but it's nice for peace of mind. And so that's it. And the guys that came and installed it, they came from about 5 hours away, and they spent the night here, living, just camping, and they finished the job up the next day. It's a different kind of thing here. It's pretty cool. So we fed them, and we gave them some booze, and they just crashed out where they crashed out. And the next day they finished it up by about noon, and then they were back headed home. So definitely a couple nice things about living here is you can be lazy, or you can have something that takes a lot of maintenance and you don't have to do it all yourself. That's all I got for today. Like, subscribe, comment. See ya.